Hey everyone, welcome to another Minecraft Explained video. Today we're going to be talking about freshwater use and biogeochemical flows. And don't let those long words scare you, it's not actually that complicated. But yeah, we're just going to be talking about that and how it's related to Minecraft and why it's important to our survival, human survival, I don't know, any kind of survival. If you want your cats to live, yeah, watch this. Would you want to explain what type of body of water this is? Hippo.
Yeah, this is blue water, not
Yep.
because it's blue though. It's called blue water because it's like surface water. So these are like bodies of water where they can be visually seen. So like lakes and ponds and the ocean.
Or rivers, like over there.
And,
Just any.
and waterfalls.
Oh my gosh, look, I've seen living water. This. Right.
Oh my god, that's actually crazy.
It's a sign.
It's kind of scary actually. I'm scared.
Even Minecraft knows we're Christians. So yeah, there's blue water, all the visual water you can see. I don't have clouds disabled, but you know what clouds look like. They are also considered blue water, I believe. Just anything that's visible, rain, water from ponds, rivers, there, you know, the whole hog. Yeah, that's blue water. Now, green water, very similar to blue water, but is green because it's from plants, the soil, flowers, trees. All these have a water content and is considered a body of water.
Would green water also be like water from animals, like inside us as well, and inside animals and that, or not?
I'm guessing that as well because it's green water is mainly just water that's natural but not visible. So I'm guessing animals still includes with it. But I'm not sure about excretion though. You know, if we pee.
Yeah, we thought once you can see it and like it becomes sweat, let's say.
Yeah, I think that's.
Like, hopefully not. I mean, but that would be blue water, right?
No, that's grey water because that's polluted.
Oh.
It's polluted by our excretion, I think.
What a good segue into grey water.
Right, so grey water, we can't actually see it in Minecraft now. Let's say we're going to put some concrete here. Can you pour the water on top, please?
Yes.
Now, will technically be grey water. It's not grey water in Minecraft because, you know, is Minecraft sophisticated? No. But if you make concrete, so this makes concrete. But if you make the concrete, the water that sort of seeps through the production of concrete is polluted water. And that water that was flowing just now would be considered grey water. But in producing concrete, like concrete also has like a water content, you know? Like you pour the water in just now, it wets the concrete and the concrete inside has water. But the whole production of making the concrete, the water used in making concrete is called virtual water because we don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
See ya. All of that in mind, it is also important to know why the representations is problematic at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because, like, Minecraft shows it, blue water is pretty much the only water visible. I'm using air quotes, visible.
Yeah.
And all the other types of water are not. And also, if you think about stuff like producing food, like making a cake, or like, I don't know, potatoes and stuff, like farming potatoes. Like all of that use water as well. But, and we get that from like, you know, making farmland and growing the potatoes itself, but
Yeah.
we don't
We
actually.
don't even have to drink water, like, nor do we have to give water to animals, you know?
No, they just kind of eat the grass, and that's that's their diet. Just dehydrated all the time. Yeah, but if you think about like crafting and growing crops and stuff like that, like all that have water, like carrots have water content. It's considered green water, but we don't see the process of that water.
Nope.
Which we don't see the process of that water in real life, but it's good to acknowledge it, you know.
We definitely acknowledge things more when we can see them.
Yeah.
I think that's just a human thing, really. Like,
I'll see when I believe. I'll believe when I see.
So the impacts of our current rate of freshwater use is quite serious. Like, that we have a water cycle, so the fact that we're using an unnatural rate of fresh water is disrupting the equilibrium of the water cycle. And the water cycle, as you can imagine, since water's like the giver of all life and like sustains plant life, sustains animal life, and like natural life, it throws off pretty much like all other cycles and how the environment works. And that can lead to like desertification. When we're farming, we can have food insecurity because we don't have enough water to grow our plants. And then when you have food insecurity, it leads to like other social dilemmas and increased humidity. So we find it harder to live in hot places. So more migration, and like less drinking water, I think, is one of the biggest ones. Water pollution, like flooding, destroyed.
R.I.P.
It's like the climate change video. We're like, this is what's gonna happen. We're all gonna die and get flooded.
Or drought.
Yeah, you're either gonna you're either gonna drown, or you're gonna thirst to death. That should be a verb, but it's not. Thirst to death. We have to starve to death.
Dehydrated to death. Death by dehydration.
Dehydrated to death. Honestly, if that was a way to go, that's how I'd go, I think. We've done it in
Waste.
Ooh, waste. My favourite bit.
To be fair, if you make an infinite water source and you kind of do that, like, oh wait, like, yeah, you can technically run out of water.
Yeah. Ooh, so maybe it's showing how like we think it's infinite, but
It really isn't. Or you can do that and then it just disappears.
Yeah. Minecraft always ends up being deeper than we thought.
Yeah. But yeah, so water is not actually infinite. It is a closed system of, you know, water cycle. We're technically drinking like, you know, dinosaur pee.
Yeah.
Or
well, we should be more specific. We should say fresh water is not infinite. Like water itself is infinite because it's a closed system, yeah. But fresh water,
yeah.
Our fresh water is diminishing. Yeah, it's not.
The availability is diminishing. It's just not fresh. It's just polluted.
Yeah,
it's just water that we can't use.
Yeah. Really, because we're just irresponsible. Like humans are just irresponsible, and we're not using our fresh water. We're not recycling enough. We're not like reducing mainly. Like I think we use a lot of excess water. What? What did you just do?
I
just completely challenged apparently.
No, I threw the stuff out into the water. The show is polluted because we're just using water, and you just picked it up. Biogeochemical flows. It's basically the cycle of, let's say, some natural minerals such as carbon dioxide, nitrogen, water, sulfur, phosphorus, and I think that's it. The biggest concern with biogeochemical flows for the environment is the fact that we now use a lot of nitrogen for fertilizers, which causes eutrophication. And let's say you have like a farm and you let's say you want to use some fertilizers to make the plants grow faster. So like, let's say I use bone meal to help it grow. And that's fine until you start having runoff. For example, like, I can do this. I don't know where oh yeah, here it is. So yeah, let's say there's some runoff that goes from the farm to an open body of water. Then all of these fertilizers would then, let's say, contaminate, get into the water, contaminate the water, and have the water have a lot of nitrogen and phosphorus, and it will go into an open body of water that's stagnant as well.
Because fertilizers are made up of nitrogen and phosphorus.
Now, there's a lot of nitrogen and phosphorus in the water, which makes plants, like aquatic plants, grow significantly, like a lot. So you have a lot of aquatic plants, there'll be a lot more oxygen for the fishes to survive in, and stuff like algae, which I'll use the lily pads as like an example. You kind of have a lot more algae because of the nitrogen and phosphorus content that'll make an algae bloom. With the algae bloom, the issue with algae bloom is that it covers a lot of the sunlight, which then prevents these aquatic plants to grow. With all of this, let's say it goes really dark and there's not much oxygen now, and the plants will then die, and then all the fishes will also die because there's lack of oxygen. If I can start killing the fish, the fish population would then decrease. That's a cute fish. I'm not going to kill it. Algae population increases. It kind of creates this like layer of sludge. Yeah, so this basically happens, and that's why eutrophication. Why there's so many puffer fishes? So, yeah.
I like the pufferfish. You should kill these fish. It looks like they're having a fish meeting, and it makes me feel uneasy. I don't like it.
I just killed Nemo. So now you have a lot of dead fishes that normally should sink to the bottom, but because it's Minecraft, it floats to the surface. You have all these dead fishes at the bottom, and it creates, and also because of the lack of oxygen, it creates this kind of like hypoxic condition, which prevents animals and plants and stuff to live. So,
what's hypoxic?
Hypoxia is basically like a very carbonated, lack of oxygen condition.
Okay.
And also with the increased amount of CO2 in the water, it also creates like acidity as well. So even further prevents stuff from growing, prevents shells forming, and yeah, similar to our climate change video, basically. Similar conditions. Everything just dies with all aquatic life dies. So with all these stuff sink to the bottom, them dying, the plants dying, stuff like that, it creates there's some like bacteria that let's say decomposition bacteria that decomposes dead organisms, and then it produces even more carbon dioxide, and yeah, so basically there's just a lack of living organisms in this area where there are many algae. But yeah, that's eutrophication. And I was also one last point, like those there might be some, there's so many fishes here still, there's way too many fish. You should be dead.
Sorry.
But yeah, denitrifying bacteria also releases nitrogen back to the atmosphere. So there's still that process of, that cycle with the nitrogen going from the ground back to the atmosphere.
Oh yeah.
The cycle needs to continue. Well, the cycle does continue. It's just that when you have an overload of one body, which is in water, unfortunately, it does not create ideal conditions for marine aquatic life. Yeah, I'm struggling to kill these fishes because the hitboxes are so small. This needs to be a dead zone. Why is it still so alive? Goodness sake. I explained this faster than us killing it. Why are we so bad at the game?
I don't like how they group together. Like, there are little gangs of fish, and it makes me feel
Well, that's how fishes travel.
like I'm
A
being,
school of fish.
like I'm being plotted against. Don't like it.
Well, you spawned them.
That's true. Yeah,
So
but I didn't
technically-
spawn them to
Technically,
to
you're
become.
like the mother of fishes.
Okay, now I like it a bit more.
The Gaias of fishes. So they no, you're like the Cronus of fishes. So basically, your son is gonna overthrow you.
Wow. What? I don't want to be overthrown. Especially not by a son. That'd be a bit lame.
Is there anything else?
Oh yeah, I have a message for everybody as we leave.
What?
Everyone save water and treat it as a finite resource. Thank you.
Yeah, stuff like this we can control, right?
Yeah.
How much water we
yeah.
use is in
Yeah.
our control. So yeah, control it.
That's actually true.
Control it. And see ya.